So now we're going to be doing tape installation. You will need your tape tabs, some small straighteners or normal straighteners if that's all you have, your hair extension pliers and all your clips and combs that we've used for sectioning. So with regard to tape installation, you cannot put them too close to the sides or the bottom hairline because they will show. So you need to grab your tape tabs. Grab two because you need to put one at the top and one at the bottom. You need to section your hair to about a finger's worth of thickness all the way along. You need to take out the parts that you won't be using. So obviously it's 2 to 3 fingers away from the hairline. So you need to remove that from your section. Now you just want to clip this away so that you don't have any hairs entwining. You need to measure up where your placement's going to be. So I think we'll fit 2 tape tabs perfectly there without them showing when your customer puts her hair up. So I'd split this in half. Make sure that this has enough thickness on, because if it's not thick enough, then it will have too much weight on it and it would actually cause damage to your client's hair. So when you unpeel a tape tab, there's normally always a slit down the middle. If not, you can take it out from the side. You want to try and not touch the tape as much as you can, because that would make the adhesive not as sticky, and you want it to last as long as possible in your client's hair. Once you have your section, you just want to lift it up and you want to make sure that it's 2 to 3 millimeters away from your client's root. If it's too close, it will cause damage to your client's hair. So you just pat it down gently for now. You remove the tab off the other tape and you stick it on top. This time pinching firmly to make sure that it's stuck in place. Now I just get my small straighteners. You can use any straighteners, but I think the small straighteners are better. You just lightly go over it 3 times just to make sure that the tape tab is fully stuck there. I also clamp it down with hair extension pliers. I just double check to make sure that it's in the place that I like and that we don't have any entwining hairs in it, and then I let it sit. Now we're going to be installing the second one. I double check that I'm happy with the section. I make sure I get rid of any hair that I won't be using. I take the tab off the first bit of hair. I hold the hair up. And I stick the hair to the tab. If it's not in the correct place, you can manipulate it at this point because you haven't set it. So if you think that you've gone a bit too close to the root, you can always just pull it down a tad and move it to where you like it. I take the tab off the second piece. I put it directly on top as if it's a sandwich for your hair. Give it a squeeze. I then use the heat, but be careful and make sure you don't touch your client's scalp. Some people don't use the heat at all, it's personal preference, but I always do, just for extra security. And then you clamp again with the pliers. There you have your first 2 tapes. Now the next section, we leave a finger width gap in between each section. So you put all the hair down. On one side. you section just directly above it, leaving a finger width around all the way around. And that it's not too thick, not too thin. We remove 2 to 3 fingers worth on the sides. And then clip away the excess hair that we're not going to be using. So tape tabs, when you install them, you need to install them on a brickwork pattern. So if you have 2 below here, you need to make sure that the one goes where the other tape tab wasn't, so that it forms a brickwork pattern. So what I would do to make sure that I achieve that is I would install the middle one first. Light tap on the straighteners. Plier. And there you have your other tape tab installed. So, when you get to the sides and you don't have enough room for a whole one, you can use half, just by folding and cutting. There is normally always a line in the middle of the tape tab that I just use to cut. That way you don't get tempted to overlap a full piece so it goes over the line that you should. You grab the hair that you'll be installing it on. Place it under, place it over. This method is actually really good for on the sides of people's hair when you just want to fill it out a little bit, not too much. And that won't be going anywhere. You move over to your other side. And you'll find that tape tabs comes in pairs. So this way we have another one that we can halve, which works out perfectly. And that's how we install them. So you would work all the way up to the head, just up to the crown or just below the crown, all the way around the side. When you do the sides, don't be tempted to do it by the ear. Please remember that you need 2 or 3 fingers gap in between, just to make sure that when your lady puts up her hair, that she doesn't have any showing. Just like so. The reason why I'm installing blonde on brown hair is just so that you can see it more clearly. I would normally install brown on brown hair, or if I was going to be installing blonde, it would always have a brown root on root stretch hair extensions. Now I'll show you a section on the side just so you can see how I go. So we've left 2 to 3 fingers. We also need to leave 2 to 3 fingers at the front so that she doesn't have any coming on to her face. We get our section ready, what we would like to use. We remove the front section and then we pin away any hair that we're not going to use, just so it's out of our way. And and we're just left with what we're going to use. Remove the tape tab, pop it under the hair. I remove the tape tab on the other piece and I pop it directly over the tape installation, making sure that there's no flyaways. Give it a tap with the straighteners. I then reclamp. And a squeeze for luck. I would then look at my previous installations and make sure that we are still achieving the brickwork effect. These tapes are hair injected, so it means that they have hair even on the tape tabs. So when your client has a bleach blonde hair, it's always good to use hair injected hair or whatever colour hair they have, just because it's a lot more natural. The other tape tabs come with quite a shiny finish to them. These ones are more expensive, but they look so much better. Just double check that my sectioning is correct. Pop it underneath. Remove the tape tab on the other piece. Pop it directly over. Now you have to make sure that no other hair is entwining in, because if you have a hair from this part going into the tape or a hair that isn't meant to be there, it will cause dreadlocks and damage. So before you make sure that you put it down, you just have a double check, make sure that there's no hairs there that shouldn't be. A tap with the straighteners. Clamp. It's perfect, good to go. I'm just going to pop one more here to show you again what I mean with regards to brickwork. So you have two pieces underneath there. You want to install it there just so that you don't have a gap running through the hair. If you were to do half a head on someone with tapes, you would just do, you can either do row, leave a row, row, leave a row, or you can do tape, leave a tape, tape, leave a tape. Tap it with the straighteners. And then clamp it. Yeah, I would never just fill up the bottom with tapes and call it half a head, because you still need the blend from the top. So you'd either do row, leave a row, row, leave a row, or one gap, one gap, one gap. That's way you're still covering the whole of the head and it will still blend perfectly. But here we are with our tape installation.